Hello, welcome Thrift Fam to an outside broadcast, I should say, for the Thrift Store Prepper channel. Yes, we're on a little walkabout and it's a beautiful summer's evening. As you can see, the sun is in the sky, kind of over beyond those houses, in the process of starting to set. And special walkabout video today. We're not doing any treasure hunting, although we might see some treasure. Let's not rule out that possibility, but I'm en route to meet the crying hippie and go and have a 420 break in the park. And the park is actually ahead of us right there. That's Hyde Park, Toronto Hyde Park, rich in some urban legends and ghost stories and hauntings and all sorts of interesting things. And I'm possibly going to be heading there a little bit later. So as you can see, there's a couple of people out and about in the neighbourhood, walking around this nice evening, and got quite a lot of flowers and stuff going on here for you. Look, summertime is in full bloom. Goodness gracious, look at this overrun piece of wildlife here. Lots of things going on there. Don't know if any of this is edible or not, but quite overgrown. There's a stop sign there. So this is Indian Grove, which we could walk up. Some very nice houses, but we're not. We're going to walk down to Hyde Park Crescent or Hyde Park Road or Hyde Park. I don't even know what it's called, but it's Parkside Drive. That's where we're going. I got there in the end. I don't even know the addresses of where I live, and I just walk in the direction I need to go and don't really pay attention to these things. So this is Parkside Drive that we're heading up to. There's a nice house there and a balcony, and as you can see, the sun is just in the process of setting, as we've mentioned. You can see the dusk approaching, and those sunset colours going on in the sky. So we'll be walking around the corner just momentarily onto Parkside Drive. I do sometimes get the bus that takes me down Parkside Drive and will drop me off just over there where that flashing traffic light is. And then I can walk home, which is 5 minutes. So that's Hyde Park over there. And that's a man with an extremely small penis overcompensating with a very flashy car that makes a lot of noise, and hopefully that will get him laid. So that's the park over there, and the sun just setting between the trees. And it's garbage collection day, so there may well be some treasure on the street. Who knows? There are the garbage cans there. And a little bit of traffic is, I guess rush hour is kind of coming to an end, or probably has already ended. So yeah, look, there's a nice little bit of trash if anyone who wanted that. Nice little chest of drawers. It's very nice, some clothes and stuff. So yeah, trash are everywhere. One man's trash is another man's treasure, as we said. So yeah, walking up Parkside, we're going to be heading towards Keele Station, which is the rendezvous point with the crying hippie. There's a lovely looking property there. Look at that little perch, the sniper perch. And hopefully you can hear me well over these cars, and something we don't often do with these outside broadcasters in noisy environments. So do forgive me if my sound quality isn't great or you can't hear what I've got to say. Someone doing some gardening here. That's another fancy looking property there. I think that's rentals or condos perhaps. And this is actually the northeast corner of Hyde Park that we're coming up to now. And the reason I mention that is this was featured in a documentary, and the crying hippie actually sent me the video of a bizarre ghost sighting. Now excuse me, walking and talking does take a little bit of my breath away, but we may well be heading there at some point after dark, maybe not today, but in the future, and doing a haunted walkabout and hopefully see some ghosts and strange stuff. We're going to try if I can get some of my girls from work to come along, so we can get the kind of Blair Witch, Scooby-Doo horror movie type thing going on. So someone waiting for the bus here. We'll point the camera away, look at the cars, and that's south. That will be south. And look at this, there's another fantastic looking property. God only knows how much that costs. So Parkside Drive, this is where we're walking, and there is coming just up now, there's a road that takes you through the park. So we're kind of not at the northeast corner yet, but yeah, there was a very strange event that happened there, and probably not the only one. So this is kind of one of those boring walks in the sense that we're just going to be walking in a straight line. I do tend to kind of like zigzagging when I walk, but partly because, you know, that's the park there, and it's actually the shortest route. If I kind of zigzag, it takes me a little bit away from where I need to go before I come back. So we're taking the most direct route here. So that's the park road just ahead. You can see someone coming out on a bike and someone crossing the road ahead maybe. And yeah, they say don't go into the park after the dark. But one day we will be heading into the park after dark. Someone on a bike there. Look, have a little look up that street. And it's quite nice because we've got the cover of the trees that's giving us some of the shade, and certainly cooling down after the day. It was in the 80s, the low 80s for you south of the border, and the high 20s for those north of the border in Canuckland. There's a biker with a fancy biker jacket on, riding his bike. Why not? It's a very nice night. Seems to be a couple of Dorises on their way down here on a walk. Don't know what they're up to. It's going to make me feel uncomfortable, I'm sure. So we might go silent as they approach and point the camera in the opposite direction. So I still do get a little bit nervous doing these outside broadcasts. I'm sure this woman's looking at me and laughing, even though she's not. And look at her making all the fancy hand gestures to let people know she's talking on the phone. So we got to wait here, and there you go. There are the gates to the High Park, just over there. And again, some very nice fancy properties going on. Yeah, that's the road that goes through. And is the man going to turn green? He might do. Yeah, there he is. He's green. So we've got the right of way and walk. And someone's done a little bit of street art here. I don't know. Let's have a look at this. I don't know if you can see that. It's some honeycomb and a bee. And there's another bee there. So a little bit of street art. Oh my good. Let's do our little bit of. So there's a missing Chihuahua. If you've seen him, that's the number to call. And there's another lost dog. Oh my goodness, lost dogs everywhere. So if you've seen that lost dog, his name, that's Valentina. If you've seen Valentina, call the number, or lost balls, whatever. And this one, and he's brown by all accounts. So yeah, look out for those dogs, people. 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. something going on over there. So there's a guy pretending he's in the Tour de France. Got his cycling gear on and his fancy bike, going out to make sure people pay attention to him. It's no fun riding your bike if people don't pay attention to you in this day and age. Some nice yellow flowers there. Probably don't know what they're called, but they look pretty pretty, don't they? And they're like facing up towards the sun, and that was where the sun is. And look at this. This is another beautiful looking garden in some rocks. And people do seem to take care of their property. Here's another one. Look at this. Nice steps. And yeah, Parkview residents. These are some primo properties. And yeah, that girl, she didn't look very happy as she walked by. Bit of a moody looking face in there. You can see the sun through the trees. Don't know if that's blinding you or not. But we don't really got that much further to go, at least I don't think so. Sometimes this walk is deceiving. You think you're about to get to where you need to be, and realise there's another 72 blocks to go. I exaggerate, there's not really 70. That's pretty smart. I don't know if you can see it. It's a little house, and it's got like a rooftop garden going on. That's a pretty cool thing to have. A lot of places have rooftop gardens. And there are some more people coming up ahead and some more traffic. Looks like a school bus. And yeah, there it is, a school bus. And we're keeping on the sunset. So that's quite pretty as the sun is going down on this another summer's day. And hate to say it, we'll we're running out of summer days. Well, no, not like anytime soon, but they are numbered, and before we know it, it'll be like the ice planet of Hoth, and our Tauntaun's will be freezing before we get past the first marker, as Canadian winters are pretty fucking brutal, to say the least. And yeah, if I could hibernate in a little hole in the ground like a bear, I certainly would. And yeah, you're right, we have got a little bit further to go. Maybe not 72 blocks, but it might be another 5 or 6. Another little lady walking home from work, I'm sure. So lots of flowers and stuff going on in the park. Bike there, don't know how long that's been around. So yeah, this isn't exactly very interesting, and not many sights, as I've almost come to realise. But oh look, there's a streetcar turning around up there. Don't know if you can see that through the trees. And even that's not exactly interesting. There's a little footpath over there we could take, but it'd probably lead us to nowhere and wind up having to like clamber down mountains or shit. So still walking along the road in a straight line. And yeah, we have got a little bit of way to go. I forgot. We've got the tennis courts and shit. So sorry, I was just taking a breather. There was a streetcar that was turning around. Just seen that over there. And goodness, I just walked into the road without looking then. That was a little bit dangerous. But never mind, there's a beautiful, beautiful fir tree up here. Not sure how well it's coming through on the camera. The sunlight is playing a little bit of always having a little bit of fun with the focusing, but yeah, that is a beautiful, beautiful tree. And beautiful property as well. Cut the little dicky birds flying around there. And an ironing board, if anyone wanted one. There's an ironing board going begging. Another bit of trasher. But I don't really have any need for an ironing board. I don't know, look at these perfectly green trees. So yeah, this is another road that will take you into the park. There's a family restaurant, the Grenadier, I believe. Breakfast special, $5.99. Not bad, not bad. I'm not sure if that's a church or something here. This little place for the playground, I don't know if it's a daycare or something, or a school. This is Howard Park Avenue. And there's some people waiting for the bus that I would get to take me home from work tonight. So yes, there's this building, look. Bus stop. The Montessori High Park Gardens, a Montessori school, and we're going to have to wait here for the the green man to let us cross the road. So have a little zoom around. You see, there's a streetcar turning round thing up there. That's where they go and turn around and go back the other direction. Couple with a dog, another couple with a dog coming this way. And we should be able to walk across in a minute. There you go, there's a streetcar coming. That's going to go and turn around just up there. That's the High Park, the 506 High Park. So maybe the little man's going to turn green. Yeah, there he is. And across we go. And yeah, I was getting a little bit paranoid then, because there's a couple of people listening to me, and I don't know why I get a little bit worried at these things. But I do. I don't know why people do this sort of shit all the time. It's quite normal. It's the most folk in today's society to be making videos and talking to nobody other than their camera or their phone. But yeah, look at the beautiful flowers here. A couple of daisies, I think. Many of them might be considered weeds. And yeah, this looks a little bit Hansel-y and Gretel-y there. You know, I don't think you'd want to go and have some cookies in that house. Although probably would. Maybe not an evil, wicked grandmother lives there that eats children. I might just be a pleasant old lady who makes cookies. We don't know. Let's not assume anything. But walking along. There's a bit of a big rig there again. Someone probably compensating lack of penis size. I don't know. But It's a bit of a flashy rig, I must admit. And we're almost at the end of this walk. There's someone watering the flowers. Luckily they didn't splash us and the camera. And there's a little bit of a ravine in the park over there. Maybe if we walked across the road we could have a look down it. But there isn't. Well, there is a little bit of a footpath. Maybe we could cross the road. But there seems to be a lot of traffic coming our way. So maybe not. But yeah, just over there is like a ravine, and you can go down in it and do all sorts of things you could want to do in a ravine, I guess. I know a lot of indigenous people like to go to the ravine and drink alcohol. But we're almost there, although not almost enough. And I did drink a lot of water before I left the house, and did just eat a big MRE, which I'm trying to walk off as well. It was full of electrolyte beverages and cocoa and coffee, and I'm almost need a pee. And my stomach feels a little bit like a hot water bottle, the amount of liquid that's in it at the minute, but at least I'm hydrated. So that's one good thing. I don't know if that's of interest to you or not, or if at all this video has been of any interest. It's a bit of a video about nothing. We haven't really seen much. I think that's a Jag. That was a T-Bird, the new version of the T-Bird there. It's a nice car, fun, till Daddy took the T-Bird away. And there's a little trail that you can go walking down into the park, and a little hut. And there's some tennis courts just over here on the other side of the road. And the sun is bright through the trees there. So this is Indian Valley Crescent, and this is was once an Indian trail, I believe. That's why it's called Indian Crescent. Yeah, not far. There's the bridge up ahead. You probably can't see it on your screen, but I know we are. And there's the sunset over there and the tennis courts. But that glare's probably giving you terrible views. And a couple of guys kicking the football around the kid. Bless them. And some wildlife going on there. Another beautiful tree. Nice looking bike. And there's a tennis court. A few people over there in the ball about. A little bit of greenery. And that's the nature centre over there, where you can go and learn about nature and shit. Watch for elderly pedestrians. We always do. Let's watch. Luckily there's none around. There's no elderly pedestrians to be worrying about. Maybe there's an elderly people's home around here where they might try to escape. I don't know why we should be watching out for elderly pedestrians. We should look out for all pedestrians. Why in particular? So yeah, look, some nice properties up there. Another guy thinks he's in the Tour de France. Look, yes, look, it's me on my bike. I'm winning the race. But there's no one else racing with him, and he probably isn't thinking that, but there's a very good chance he is. Yes, I'm number one. I don't know why they all seem to have that voice in my head, but they kind of do. It's the same voice, you know. He's like the kind of guy that was, can I get a breakfast, but with 2 salads instead of bacon and eggs and hash browns? And we should just toss him in the ravine and let the animals eat him, really and truly, and let him decompose and give some growth back to the trees from the nutrients his body can be taken from the soil or something like that. Anyway, that was a bit twisted and sinister. He did nothing wrong but ride his bike past us, but again, jump into assumptions that he's a salad bandit. He kind of looked a little bit salad bandit-y, I'm not going to lie. Just rambling for the sake of rambling now, because I'm running out of things. So again, there is a little bit of the ravine over there. Don't know if that helps. No, that didn't really help. There's a little trail that you can take down there into the northeast corner, and this is where the story of the jogger who went in there and there's like 20 dark shadows started following him and chasing him, and he blacked out and found himself somewhere else, if I'm remembering the story rightly. So pretty much getting close to the rendezvous point, Kiel subway station. I don't even know how long, what's that, 20 so minutes? Yeah, it's 20 minutes, so that didn't take that long at all. Nice little walk for you, although not really, it's just been a straight line and not that scenery, not much scenery to look at. It's an old tarp over there, maybe someone's living under it. A couple of chairs. Another nice house, some buses and a Volvo. So yeah, this is Bloor Street up ahead, and this is where Parkside will change into Kiel Street. So Parkside Avenue ends here, and this is the infamous northeast corner of Hyde Park in Toronto. And one day we are going to be going into the depths of that after dark. Ghost hunter style paranormal activity type shenanigans, maybe. And this might be the old people's home. Yeah, it looks a little bit old people-y. See old folks living there. Or it might just be condos. Feathers. It's a centre. So yeah, that suggests that maybe old people live there. That might be where the elderly people are escaping from. And you have to watch out for them. So yeah, there's some nice condos there. This is this corner of Bloor Street and Parkside, and that head is Kiel. And if I keep walking that direction, I'll sooner end up at work, which we're not going to be doing right now. So I don't know how early or late I am. Oh, look, there's a little bit of water feature over there. Never seen that before, and it's not helping my full bladder any. So there's a gas station, and this is actually a corner, I think it was last year or maybe the year before, just around here. I think it might have even been on that street corner. That's where a vegan kicked out an he roundhoused an SJW abortion protester. He was a pro-lifer and she wasn't. And here's some more people that think they're in the Tour de France though. And the reason I mention that because the Tour de France is going on right now. And look at them now, let's go out on our bikes. And there's the girl riding around with the boys, and oh look, he's last. You can do it. There we go, he encouraged the person that was in last place. And they look like they're taking things far, far too seriously. Alright, the Green Man. We can cross the street. And there's a Petro Canada there that sells overpriced snacks and treats. That's Bloor Street West. Go down there, it turns into the Queensway. And that's Bloor Street East, although we're not looking at it. So I don't know if we're early or late, or if the crying hippie is going to be here yet or not. So we might shut this off and upload the video while we're waiting, and maybe I can find somewhere to take a piss. Payday loans. If you want a payday loan, you can go here and get all sorts of loan sharking stuff on your street corner. So yeah, it doesn't look like there's a hippie that's crying outside, an Audi flipping a bitch. So yeah, we're gonna wait around over here, and that's it. Hopefully, I was hoping the hippie would have been here. I said, hey, that would have been a great way to end the video. So at this point, let's have a little bit towards the park. Thanks for watching. This has been a shit video production for the Thrift Store Prepper on a Walkabout video.